Tom Stoppard, playwright of dazzling wit and playful erudition, dies aged 88. Cause of death and final words revealed. The world of theatre and literature is in mourning following the passing of Sir Tom Stoppard, the Czech-born British playwright whose intellectually vibrant and linguistically brilliant works illuminated stages for over 6 decades. He died peacefully at his home in Dorset, England, on Friday. He was 88 years old. His family confirmed the heartbreaking news in a statement, sharing both the cause of his passing and the poignant final words that have since provided solace to his admirers and colleagues worldwide. A literary journey from to the West End. Born Tomáš Strojsler on July 3, 1937, in Zlín, Czechoslovakia, now the Czech Republic, Stoppard's life was marked by displacement and transformation from its earliest days. Fleeing the Nazi occupation with his family, he spent part of his childhood in Singapore before settling in England after his mother remarried British Army Major Kenneth Stoppard. This peripatetic early life would later inform the themes of identity, chance, and history that permeated his work. Stoppard's theatrical breakthrough came with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead in 1966, which reimagined Hamlet from the perspective of 2 minor characters. The play's intellectual pyrotechnics, wordplay, and philosophical depth announced the arrival of a major new voice in English theatre and established the template for what would become known as the Stoppardian style. The height of theatrical innovation. Throughout the 1970s and 1980s, Stoppard solidified his reputation as one of the English language's most original dramatists, with works including Jumpers, 1972, Travesties, 1974, and The Real Thing, 1982. His plays combined intellectual rigor with emotional resonance, exploring complex ideas from philosophy, physics, and mathematics while never losing sight of the human heart. His 1993 masterpiece, Arcadia, seamlessly wove together themes of landscape gardening, literary detection, chaos theory, and thermodynamics across 2 centuries, becoming one of the most celebrated plays of the late 20th century. Stoppard's ability to make abstruse concepts not only accessible, but deeply moving became his signature achievement. Cause of death. According to the family's detailed statement, Stoppard died from complications of a recent respiratory infection that had exacerbated underlying age-related conditions. He passed peacefully in his sleep at his country home in Dorset, surrounded by family members and close friends who had maintained a vigil during his final days. The statement read, "It is with the heaviest of hearts that we announce the passing of our beloved Tom. He left us peacefully after a brief illness. Tom's words have danced in the minds and hearts of audiences around the world for more than 60 years, and his legacy of intellectual curiosity, linguistic invention, and profound humanity will continue to inspire generations to come. While we mourn his physical departure, we take comfort in the extraordinary body of work he leaves behind." Final words. In their moving tribute, Stoppard's family shared his final words, which they said perfectly captured his lifelong fascination with language and the nature of existence. According to his son, his last conscious words were, "The words were everything, and everything was words." What a wonderful conversation it has been. His longtime editor and friend, Michael Black, added, "Even at the end, Tom was contemplating the power and mystery of language. For him, words weren't just tools for communication. They were the very substance of reality, the building blocks of consciousness itself. That philosophical wonder never left him." Tributes from the literary and theatrical worlds. News of Stoppard's passing prompted an immediate outpouring of grief and admiration from across the arts and academia, with playwrights, actors, directors, and scholars expressing their debt to his extraordinary body of work. Sir Ian McKellen, who performed in several Stoppard productions, stated, "Tom Stoppard was quite simply the most brilliant mind ever to write for the British stage. Acting in his plays was like being given a master key to the universe. Suddenly everything made sense, and the sense was beautiful, funny, and profoundly moving. The theatre has lost its greatest intellectual poet." Playwright Sir David Hare wrote, "Tom reinvented what was possible in the theatre. Before Stoppard, nobody thought you could write plays about quantum physics, moral philosophy, or mathematical theory and have audiences weeping in the aisles. he proved that the most complex ideas in the right hands could produce the most deeply human drama. Beyond the stage, screenwriting and activism. Stoppard's influence extended far beyond the theater through his acclaimed screenplays, including Shakespeare in Love, which won him an Academy Award, Empire of the Sun, and Brazil. His ability to translate his distinctive voice to cinema demonstrated the universal appeal of his intellectual playfulness and emotional insight. A passionate advocate for human rights, particularly for writers living under oppressive regimes, Stoppard was actively involved with PEN International and other organizations supporting freedom of expression. His own experience as a refugee from totalitarianism informed his lifelong commitment to political freedom and artistic liberty. A lasting literary legacy. Stoppard's impact on contemporary theater is immeasurable. His works have been translated into dozens of languages and are regularly studied in universities worldwide. The term Stoppardian has entered the critical lexicon to describe works that combine intellectual depth with theatrical brilliance. His knighthood in 1997 and the Order of Merit in 2000 recognized not only his contributions to literature, but his status as one of Britain's most important cultural figures. Despite these honors, he remained characteristically modest about his achievements, often deflecting praise with his trademark wit. Continuing the conversation. In accordance with Stoppard's wishes, his family has announced the establishment of the Tom Stoppard Literary Trust, which will preserve his archives and provide support for emerging playwrights, particularly those from disadvantaged backgrounds. The trust will also continue his work supporting writers at risk around the world. The family has requested privacy during this difficult time, while announcing plans for a public memorial service at London's Royal National Theatre, an institution with which he had a long and fruitful relationship. The service will be broadcast globally for international admirers unable to attend in person. Conclusion. The final curtain. Tom Stoppard's passing at 88 marks the end of an extraordinary era in world theater. His journey from a Czech refugee to one of the English language's most celebrated dramatists represents not only remarkable personal achievement, but a testament to the power of words to transform, transport, and transcend. As the literary world mourns his passing, we also celebrate the incredible legacy he leaves behind. A legacy written in sparkling dialogue, profound ideas, and the unwavering belief that theater could be both intellectually rigorous and deeply human. His final words, celebrating the wonderful conversation of a life in language, serve as the perfect closing line for a writer who understood that the greatest drama lies not in the answers we find, but in the beautiful questions we learn to ask.